Kevin is in Texas. Hi, Kevin. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Good to talk to you. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
My question is about buying a house. My wife and I are saving up for a down payment on a home. And I've been listening to you for a little while, but I'm pretty new. And I know we are debt-free and we have an emergency fund fully funded. My question is, we both currently work full-time. And so how much house should I kind of look to buy based upon our incomes? And here's the deal. She's going to graduate school for a couple years, starting in the fall. She's going to get a counseling degree. And that'll mean our total income will drop for a little bit while she's going to school. We're going to pay for that in cash. But then she's going to make more money, most likely. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed later. And so my question is, should we buy a house according to that 25% rule that you have, off of our current income, off of our income during those 2 years, which is when we'll buy the house where she's in school, or more along the lines of a conservative estimate of what we'll be making together after she graduates?
Oh, probably the middle of those three, which is probably where you are right now, right?
Yeah, she's about to stop working full-time and work part-time.
Yeah, and so where you are today, if you took 25% of that, here's the point of the 25%. It's not magic. The point is, long-term, over the next 5 or 10 years, if you have a house payment that eats up all of your income, you have no money. That's how deep the 25% is, okay? Because people will, you can get qualified for a loan that's 50% of your take-home pay, and you can't even breathe. You can get qualified for a loan that's 35% of your take-home pay, easily. And then you have trouble funding your car replacement fund, your 401k, your kids' college fund, because you become increasingly house poor. Now, what you're describing is a temporary situation, not a permanent situation. So if someone calls me up and their house payment's 50% of their take-home pay because one of them just got laid off in the coronavirus, well, that's not what we're talking about. You would just hang on through that because you're going to get your pay back and afterwards, and you're going to be okay in the house. So it's not a snapshot of a moment in time. It's a concept that over the scope of the next decade, it's going to be very hard for you to avoid debt and prosper if your house payment's eating up all of your income. That's really what it comes down to. And so if you kind of said, okay, the low point of your income is while she's in grad school, the high point of your income is after she gets out, and the medium point is kind of where you are right now, all I did was just say, hey, maybe where you are right now is maybe a good measure of that. It'll be a little bit of a strain while she's in grad school, and then there'll be almost no strain later when she gets out, and you'll be able to do a whole bunch of other stuff, and you won't be house poor. If you did it based on the anticipated income, basically we're saying until she gets her new job and her career blossoms off the new job, off of grad school, until then, you're probably not going to make much progress financially because you're putting it all in a house payment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
So what period of time do you want to be house poor? Oh, and how old are you?
We're both 30.
And how many kids have you got?
0 kids.
No kids. Okay. Do you plan on having children?
Yes, we will have a couple kids. Hopefully,
okay.
Lord willing.
What do you think the probability is you move?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I wouldn't spend the next 5 years I wouldn't spend the next 5 years straining on a house payment based on the income target 5 years from now in order to own a house that I'm probably not going to live in after I have kids.
Yes.
Why strain? You know, it's just not, it's a temporary thing. And so, you know, all that, but the whole point of the whole discussion is, if too big a chunk of your income is going out the door in house payment, you can't do nothing else. You're house poor. So if you'll just guard against that, you'll make the right decision. Okay?
Right. And 25% is pretty conservative. So if I
try
to keep on track there, we'll be good, even if we end up having to strain a little bit more.
Exactly.
For those couple of years.
Exactly. The 25% is based on having done budgets for 30 years with people. And I'm saying where you are now is your projected income today. And based on that, we're going to do 25%. That gives you room for kids' college fund, car replacement, Christmas, insurance, start your 401k and baby step 4, and that kind of stuff. If you get up around 35%, you start to be in a strain. You can't, you say, oh, well, we'll put this vacation on a credit card, and you start rationalizing your butt off and start being a normal American again. So that's where it comes from. It's conservative unless you're trying to hit all those baby steps and you don't see raises. Thanks for the call.